Hey up chucks, it's Cryo lady. I don't normally speak like that, but I can tell you a story about that. So anyway, let's get into this, shall we? I'm going to do, as usual, blemish repair, press the button, press start, there we go. My family moved around a lot. I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot. I think my parents are on their 26th house that they've lived in since they met each other. I went to a lot of different schools, so it was a bit tough because it wasn't particularly nice having to start over again. I went to one, two, three, four, I think I went to 5 different primary schools, and I went to 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I went to 5 different, pretty sure it's 5 different secondary schools, you know, upper schools, senior schools, whatever you want to call colleges. Anyway, so up until I was nearly 16, I lived in pretty much Lancashire, then Derbyshire. And so when I moved age 16 down to, my parents moved to Somerset, I used to have quite a northern accent and I didn't fit in. And people used to take the mickey out of me because I had a northern accent. And so, age 16, well, probably younger than that, I resolved to change the way I spoke. Some people can still detect a bit of a northern accent on me, because when I say going, I put an emphasis on the G at the end. And I mean, obviously, you know, I never realised it was a problem. But at this one particular school that I went to, the one that I went to after we moved to Somerset, I did. I got teased a lot because of how I spoke. I wouldn't have said, I definitely was not, my accent was not broad by any means. It was noticeable, but it certainly wasn't broad. Anyway, I spent a fairly short period of time there because in their wisdom, my parents decided that it would be a really great idea. Janice and Floyd, I'll call them. Janice and Floydy thought it would be a marvellous idea to move a few months before I was going to take my GCSEs. They were called O-levels back then. And in the UK, in different parts of the country, it depends on where you live, you'll study a different syllabus. So, example, history. I'd studied World War I and World War II, and if I'd have taken my history exam, that's what I would have been tested on, my knowledge and understanding of that. When I came to Somerset, they were studying Tudor history. Now, I knew a little bit about Tudor history, but not enough to cram in to a few months to pass a GCSE in it. So I didn't stand a cat's chance in hell. The same with English language. Yeah, that was fine. I was fine with that. I was fine with that. English language, so English literature, again, what we used to do, I don't know if I think they sort of, not sure if they do it totally the same, but back then we would study a poet, or Yeah, we would study a poet, and we would also study Shakespeare, one of Shakespeare's plays, and we would also have a book. So my books were, when I was in Derbyshire, I think I was studying A Midsummer Night's Dream. In Somerset, Merchant of Venice. So not the same at all. I think I was studying Keats in Derbyshire, and in Somerset it was Seamus Heaney. And a book, I think I was studying Jane Eyre, and in Somerset, Far from the Madding Crowd. To be fair, I didn't do too badly in the English literature. I needed a C to pass. I got a D. So, when you think about it, it wasn't terrible. I resat that exam. I studied it again. Yeah, moving around a lot is no fun. It's no fun at all when you're a kid. I mean, once or twice, or just, perhaps moving house in the same area would be all right. But we would up sticks and go somewhere completely different. I mean, I was born in Wales. I was born in South Wales. When I was about 6 months old, my parents took myself and my brothers and sisters over to live in Australia. They went on this £10 POM sort of thing. Anyway, predictably, they moved around. We moved to Sydney. That's where my mum's family lived, because my mum's family had emigrated. When, I don't know, I think my mum was quite young, really, when they went. I think they went in the early 60s, 1962 or something like that. Anyway, so they had family in Sydney in New South Wales, but of course, no. My dad had a job there as well, but of course, no. Floyd and Janice decided that it would be an epic idea to go and move. I think it was South Australia they went to. And they lived in this tiny little place called Millicent. At that point, it was just a one-street place in the middle of nowhere. And unfortunately, there were things went wrong. There were quite a few racial tensions over there, because there was quite a lot of Italians, and some of the Australians, the managers there, just didn't like them at all. And my dad stood up for one of them, who was basically victimised, this Italian guy, and they were both promptly sacked. So Floyd went and worked in I've got a feeling he told me he went and worked in a frozen pea factory, and scraped enough money together, went back to Sydney, and from there we all got on a boat. Oh, I'm finished. I'm going to put some more on, because I like it. To blemish repair now. Oh no. Oh, you want that? Oh, I don't care. I'll have to put this on charge in a minute. It's going to pack up soon. We got on a boat, and we travelled back to the UK. I think we lived in Dorset to start off with. We lived with my grandma, my father's mother. I mean, they'd actually been estranged for a while. My father, Floyd, and Janice basically told me that she didn't want Floyd to get married to Janice. So there was that. Anyway, from Dorset, we went over to Hampshire. We lived in Waterlooville for a short time with Janice's cousin. And then from there, we went to Lancashire. Predictably, I mean, they moved house a good few times there, schools and things, and then we wound up in Derbyshire. And Floyd and Janice, they moved to Somerset. I left home when we lived in Somerset, so I went to do my nurse training. And from there, from Somerset, Floydie and Janice moved to Torquay in Devon. And then from Torquay they moved to Paynton, and then from Paynton they moved to Scotland, and then from Scotland they moved to Plymouth, and then from Plymouth they've now gone to live in Colwyn Bay in Wales. You see, now it's turned itself off because the batteries ran out, so that's going to be that. I'll have to put it on charge. Bye.